Guys, I swear the fear of this thing alone is going to end up causing more problems than the actual virus itself. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about Princess Cruise Lines. And of course, I'm talking about just one of their ships because they now have at least 3 ships that are having problems. I'm not going to waste your time, guys. Let's go ahead and get straight into it.
Let's go!
Alright, what's going on, Shiplife crew? I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe out there. My name is Jay, and welcome to my channel, The Shiplife, where I talk about all things regarding cruise ships and the cruise ship industry. If this just happens to be your first time visiting my channel, or you've been watching my videos and you haven't already yet, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. That way you get notified when I post my new videos. So this past weekend, a cruise ship owned by Princess Cruises ran into quite a bit of trouble after docking in the island of Reunion, which is a territory owned by the French. This cruise ship was the Sun Princess, and it holds about 2,000 passengers, mostly from Australia and New Zealand. Now, obviously, as you guys know, there are tons of reports coming out with the deadly virus that's going around in cruise ships. This, of course, is sparking a lot of fear all over the world, especially in places where cruise ship ports exist and islands, of course. Now, when the Sun Princess actually arrived in Reunion, they were met with approximately 30 protesters that were throwing apparently rocks, bottles, and starting fires. Now, this was not because the protesters wanted the passengers to leave. At least according to one of the protesters, the dock apparently just was not doing the proper health and safety checks before letting the passengers onto the actual island and leaving the dock to, of course, explore Reunion. And this caused a lot of outrage. Now, here's the thing with the situation. Of course, the locals depend on the passengers and tourism for their economic structure to be upheld, which makes sense. And that actually happens in a lot of the ports, especially the ones that are in more developing countries like Honduras, parts of Mexico, and apparently this island of Reunion as well. So, it's, in my opinion, it's probably wrong what they did, but we'll probably get into that a little bit later on in the video. But essentially, that's what happened. And of course, this caused essentially a small riot and a very, very bad situation for the passengers involved on the cruise ship as well. And just so we're clear, the Sun Princess at the time of the incident had not had any reportings or a situation where they had somebody with the deadly virus or any flu-like symptoms. However, the fear arose because of one of their sister ships, which was the Diamond Princess, already had reports of the deadly virus, and I believe they even had one death as well. Now, obviously, if you guys aren't aware already, there are more Princess Cruises that are having problems, like the Grand Princess, which is having an issue out in California, or at least off the coast of California right now. We're not going to talk about all those other cruise ships today, but we'll get into it a little bit later. Right now, we're going to stay focused on the Sun Princess because, of course, there's a lot to cover, and I just want to kind of keep everything as isolated as I can. That way we have some clarity as to what's going on. But of course, guys, this cruise ship news stuff is insane right now. I don't even know what other way to put it. It's a scary situation, obviously. And of course, everybody's asking, is it safe to cruise right now? Is it not safe to cruise? I mean, look at the news. Obviously, there's a lot going on. I would never tell somebody not to go on a ship or anything like that, but it is a scary situation. And if you guys can refund, I guess, if that's an option and that's something that you actually want to do, by all means, go ahead and do it. But also, if you want to cruise, go ahead and do it. I mean, again, I would never tell somebody not to do it. And somebody that is going to cruise, that they've been planning this vacation for months or even up to a year, nobody here has the right to tell them what they can and can't do. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get back to the situation that I'm talking about today. Now, prior to the Sun Princess docking in the island of Reunion, it had first been denied permission to dock in Madagascar, which was the destination it had scheduled prior to arriving in Reunion. Now, this could have or could have not maybe been a reason as to why the locals were protesting when the Sun Princess had arrived. Despite this situation, out of the 2,000 passengers that were on board the Sun Princess, a couple hundred did disembark and try to explore the island, have a good time. However, with the situation being what it was, it did spark a bit of a problem, of course. The police were called and the passengers were sent back to the Sun Princess within a couple hours due to safety concerns. Now, unfortunately, even with the crazy situation that happened in the island of Reunion, the very next day, the Sun Princess faced more problems. Their next destination, which was Mauritius, was also denied permission to dock as well. So here's the thing, guys. Obviously, it's no secret the cruise lines are struggling right now, and for good reason. Well, I wouldn't say for good reason. I just want to say it's understandable, I guess you could say. As somebody that has worked on cruise ships, I personally know how quickly a sickness, a disease, a virus can spread on the ship, mainly because you have nowhere to go. You know, the cruise lines do the best they can to try to keep everything sanitized and clean. However, you can only do so much. It's not hard for anything to spread, no matter what safety or health precautions you take. When in regards to this situation here, though, I think it could have been handled a lot better than what the 30 protesters did. Throwing rocks and starting fires and bottles and stuff at the passengers or at the buses or what have you is not okay. You know, especially for a island that depends on the tourism for their revenue. If you had an issue with anybody, it should be the port. You know, whoever your local leaders are, you should definitely go and talk to them and try to figure out a solution if the passengers are going to continue coming with the current situation going on around the world. That's just my two piece. I'm in no favor of the passengers. I'm in no favor of the protesters. I'm just kind of talking about what's going on because I think right now it's getting out of hand, to be honest with you guys. And that's just me being honest and genuine with you guys and just organic with this whole episode. I think that the fear is starting to get to people, right? And I know a lot of people are on both ends. Some people are saying, yes, we have to take a lot of precautions. We have to be afraid. On the other hand, you have other people saying that, it's not a big deal. Cancer has killed more people. Drinking has killed more people. The flu has killed more people. Yeah, that's understandable. But of course, an epidemic like this, or a potential epidemic or pandemic, is something you want to avoid because obviously this virus is spreading pretty fast. And that's the last thing you want is to have another virus or sickness out in the world. That's the last thing I believe anybody wants. So of course we have to contain this. But at the same time, it's no reason for people to lash out in anger just because they're afraid. It's only going to make the problem 10 times worse. But that's just my two piece on the situation. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this video up. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Also, subscribe, like if you haven't already. Let me know what your opinions are. Of course, I will be reporting on the other situations going on with the rest of the Princess cruise ships, as well as the other cruise lines in the near future. Starting with tomorrow, of course. And that'll be it. You guys stay safe out there. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, staying healthy, all that other good stuff. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you guys. Till tomorrow, take it easy.